She holds a Guinness World Record for the world's largest natural breasts.
This is Nick Stillwell, who can now officially say that he has the longest tongue in the world.
Have you ever noticed how some people slip by while others stop you in your tracks? Individuals with traits so extraordinary that they shatter all expectations.
19-foot-long fingernails. The 61-year-old Shalal's been growing the fingernails on his left hand since he was 16.
Some are born with features that seem to belong to another world, while others have pushed the limits of transformation to become living legends of self-expression. From a woman whose toes seem to stretch the boundaries of human possibility, to another whose lips have become a masterpiece of their own making, here are 13 most unusual longest body parts in the world. Number 13. Annie Hawkins Turner. Meet Annie, a 54-year-old woman from Georgia, whose magnificent mammaries have mesmerized the masses. This mother of two has parlayed her pulchritudinous physique into a lucrative business, raking in over £1 million and earning her the coveted title of boobpreneur. Annie's astonishing natural endowment began their grand entrance at the tender age of 5, and by 9, they'd already reached a dazzling size 36D. Today, her breasts are estimated to be a mind-boggling 102ZZZ, a Guinness World Record that has everyone in awe. Her breasts are now heavier than the average 11-year-old child, and she's had to adapt to a life of constant discomfort.
I've been through some really dark days in my life, and God came through for me.
At just 9 years old, Annie wore her first bra, which she hated because it stuck out like football cones. Today, she's still struggling to find bras that fit, and has resorted to stuffing herself into 2 bras and pinning them together.
Her size has created problems. Finding an adequate bra isn't easy.
However, Annie's enormous breasts have led her on an unforgettable journey across the globe. She's visited places like Japan, London, Germany, and Amsterdam, and has made appearances in various magazine spreads and talk shows. However, beyond the fame and excitement, Annie's life hasn't been without its share of struggles. She battles gigantomastia, a rare condition that leads to excessive breast growth. Her breasts have also taken a toll on her health. She can't stand for long periods without her shoulders feeling numb, and she has to be careful when walking down steps or getting out of bed to avoid injury.
Annie says she has had a tough time her whole life, been ridiculed because of this body characteristic she has.
Despite these challenges, Annie has refused to consider breast reduction surgery. Instead, she's opted to turn her breasts into a money-making machine. She's operated her own production company for nearly 20 years, directing 250 erotic videos and appearing in 70. Annie's unique physique has intrigued people around the world, and she's become a celebrity in her own right. She's known in the industry as Norma Stitz and describes herself as a fantasy model. Number 12. Macy Curran. At just 17 years old, Macy Curran is already making history as the teenager with the longest legs in the world.
A record breaker. This is 17-year-old Macy Curran, who lives in Texas.
Hailing from the United States, Macy has earned her spot in the Guinness World Records as the teenager with the longest legs in the world. Macy, the world's tallest teen, is not only growing taller, she's also gaining an ever-expanding social media following. This 6'10" Texan is on track to secure 2 impressive titles in next year's Guinness World Records, longest female legs and longest teenage legs, and she's not keeping her remarkable journey to herself. Across her social media platforms, Macy shares her powerful message of self-empowerment while documenting her extraordinary legs and embracing her unique stature.
She just made the Guinness World Records book. Here's why.
This teen has the longest legs in the world.
Her social media posts range from motivational clips that promote self-acceptance to fun videos where she humorously addresses the challenges that come with being so tall. Although Macy hails from a tall family, with her father standing at 6'5" and her mother at 5'7", her height surpasses both of them. Her legs alone account for 60% of her height, with her right leg measuring an impressive 53¼ inches, and her left just slightly shorter at 52¾ inches. However, being exceptionally tall brings its own set of challenges.
Now she's using her platform to inspire young girls to embrace their differences.
She mentioned in an interview that finding clothes that fit can be difficult, and dealing with cars is a bit of a nightmare. She explained that she often hits her head on things and that cars are especially challenging.
All my life, I've been different, I've been taller.
When it comes to pants or leggings, she noted that custom-made is the only solution. Despite these struggles, Macy has also faced the sting of bullying in her younger years, particularly in her hometown of Cedar Park, Texas. But instead of letting negativity define her, Macy's message is clear. Tallness is a gift. With her recognition in the Guinness World Records, she expressed her hope to inspire other tall women to embrace their height and ignore the negativity. She shared that she wants tall women to view their height as a gift and to truly embrace it, standing proud and unshaken. Number 11. Nick Stoberl. Nick's tongue might be his most famous feature, but it's his bold spirit that's making him unforgettable. Stretching a solid 4 inches from the tip to the middle of his top lip, Nick's tongue is nearly 3 times the average length. He mentioned that the typical tongue measures about 3 inches for women and about 3.5 inches for men, but his impressive tongue measures a solid 4 inches. Inspired by his unique feature, he decided to put it to creative use before setting his sights on smashing yet another record. Nick's tongue has also become an excellent conversation starter. He joked that if you tell someone you have the longest tongue in the world, their immediate reaction will be disbelief.
Every time I'm introduced to someone new, if it's by my friend, they're like, hey, this is Nick Stoberl. He has the longest tongue in the world.
While his long tongue doesn't exactly enhance his sense of taste, Nick pointed out that it's super useful for cleaning up after meals. If he gets food on his face, he can simply lick it off without needing napkins. An eco-friendly solution, he calls it. Although he enjoys the playful side of his talent, Nick's main goal was to showcase the versatility of his extraordinary anatomy. He was excited to see what else he could do with his tongue that day.
My tongue's useful for a lot of the conventional things you would think, licking lollipops.
His first challenge was breaking the record for the most tongue-to-nose touches in 1 minute, which was set at 281. Nick managed to achieve 246, falling just 35 short. Not one to give up, Nick quickly shifted his focus and aimed for the record for the fastest time to remove 5 Jenga blocks using only his tongue. The record was set at 1 minute, but Nick completed the task in just 55.5 seconds. Now with multiple Guinness World Records titles to his name, Nick shared that life has been much more exciting since he claimed the title for the longest male tongue, and he's just getting started. Number 10. Anthony Victor. While most people focus on haircuts or trims, Anthony Victor's world record celebrates something entirely different, his record-breaking ear hair that's been growing for years. Anthony Victor, a retired teacher from India, holds a Guinness World Record for something you probably wouldn't expect, his unbroken record for the longest ear hair. Since 2007, this unique title has been his, thanks to the hair growing from the center of his outer ears, which reaches an impressive 7 1/4 inches at its longest point. The Guinness World Records shared this unusual achievement on Instagram, introducing Anthony as the ear-haired teacher. As expected, the internet went wild over the image of Anthony's remarkable ear hair. While the comments were full of jokes, Anthony's record is a one-of-a-kind achievement that has made him an unforgettable figure. Number 9. Mehmet Özürek. From childhood jabs to Guinness World Record recognition, Mehmet Özürek's big nose has been the cornerstone of his extraordinary story. Growing up, he wasn't immune to the teasing that came with having such a distinctive feature. His friends, with mischievous grins, would often call him the guy with the big nose, a nickname that stuck throughout his childhood. But Mehmet, ever the curious thinker, couldn't help but wonder, was his nose really larger than everyone else's, or was it just the result of their playful teasing? Determined to find out, he took a long, hard look at himself in the mirror, analyzing his features and comparing them to those around him. What he discovered was both humorous and humbling. He was different, yes, but that difference was undeniable. It wasn't just the size of his nose that drew attention. It was the way it made him stand out. In every social setting, without fail, all eyes would land on him. He couldn't walk into a room without feeling the weight of curious gazes. Not in admiration, but in fascination. People didn't just look, they examined him with a kind of fixation that bordered on obsession. Instead of shrinking away in self-consciousness, Mehmet chose to embrace the attention. The stares, the whispers, and the constant gaze of others gradually became a part of who he was. He often found himself joking that others could look, but they would never have what he had. He came to understand that his nose was more than just a physical feature. It was a statement. Despite the teasing and odd looks, he had learned to view it as a gift, something that was uniquely his. He believed it was part of his creation, a design by God, and something he could never change. Over time, what had once been a source of mockery became a source of fascination. Mehmet didn't just gain fame in Turkey. His name spread far beyond its borders. His nose, now a trademark, earned him a spot in the Guinness World Records. celebrated for its sheer uniqueness. But Mehmet was known for something even more extraordinary: his incredible sense of smell. It was as though his nose was tuned to the universe, able to detect even the faintest of scents with precision. Walking into his home, he could immediately sense if something was cooking. It wasn't just a skill, it was a gift, one that added another layer to his remarkable story. He often mentioned how, whenever he walked through his front door, he could instantly smell the difference, a talent he truly cherished. Sadly, Mehmet's health took a downturn when he suffered a heart attack, and surgery was scheduled in an attempt to save him. Despite the doctor's best efforts, they couldn't prevent his passing. Mehmet passed away in May of 2023, at the age of 73. Number 8. Ram Singh. What started as a personal grooming choice for Ram Singh has turned into an extraordinary legacy, securing him a Guinness World Record for the longest mustache in the world. Ram Singh, an Indian man with an extraordinary beard journey, is one such individual. His beard story began in 1970, and over the decades, his facial hair has become more than just grooming. It's a living tribute to dedication, pride, and tradition. In 2010, Ram secured his place in the Guinness World Records when he was crowned the man with the longest mustache in the world. For Ram, his mustache is not merely a fashion statement, it's an expression of his pride, joy, and personal identity. His impressive mustache has earned him admiration and respect in India and around the world, making him a celebrated figure everywhere. What's even more remarkable is the care Ram puts into maintaining his legendary mustache. Every day he spends a lot of time washing and grooming it, using luxurious coconut and mustard oils to keep it soft and healthy. This meticulous routine is something he has faithfully followed for years, and every 2 weeks he gives it extra attention to keep it in prime condition. Ram's commitment goes beyond his mustache. He also dedicates about 2 hours each week to his beard, ensuring it remains just as impressive. For him, the beard and mustache are more than just features. They're a labor of love and a daily ritual that connects him to his heritage. As of his last measurement, Ram's mustache stretches an astounding 18.5 feet, an achievement so extraordinary that no one has yet come close to breaking his record. Number 7. Cordelia Adams. Could you imagine living with 12-inch nails for over 30 years? Cordelia Adams has mastered the art. Cordelia, a nail technician from Gary, Indiana, has cultivated a remarkable passion for her nails.
I don't really have a favorite nail as opposed to a favorite design.
For more than 30 years, she has been growing her fingernails, and they now extend over 12 inches in length. At 59 years old, Cordelia's nails are more than just long. They're decorated with intricate acrylic designs that showcase her creativity and skill.
Right now it would be the stained glass on my ring finger, the stained glass nail.
Her nail journey began back in 1989 when she first became a nail technician, and since then, she's mastered the art of managing her long nails while keeping up with everyday activities. You might be wondering, how does she manage to do anything with nails that long? Well, Cordelia has learned to adapt and perform daily tasks without compromising the health of her precious babies, according to her. One of the things she enjoys most about her long nails is the attention they attract. Imagine the looks and questions she receives every time she enters a room. Cordelia admits that the best part of having super long nails is the attention, though it's not always positive. She shared that some people can be rude, constantly asking personal questions like how she eats or handles tasks with such long nails.
I actually use a jewelry trimmer to cut them with because they don't fit in between.
However, Cordelia doesn't let it bother her and handles it all with ease. Over the years, Cordelia has become an expert at making her long nails work for her. According to her, it's not as difficult as it seems. She's mastered tasks like driving, writing, and even holding objects, all while keeping her nails out of the way. She explained that her nails fold back over her arm, keeping them completely out of the way when she holds something. For tasks like scrolling on her phone or doing laundry, she uses her knuckles instead of her fingertips, demonstrating just how adaptable she is. Despite the challenges, Cordelia has no intention of parting with her long nails. For her, it's about expressing herself and maintaining the beauty of her designs.
So I don't really have a favorite nail as opposed to a favorite design.
She's managed to keep some of her intricate nail art in pristine condition for years, with some designs lasting up to 5 years without chipping or fading. Number 6. Sridhar Chilal. It takes some serious dedication to grow your nails for over 60 years. Just ask Sridhar Chilal, who turned his long nails into a world record. Sridhar, an Indian national, shared that his inspiration to grow his nails came from a high school teacher who also kept long fingernails. At the age of 14, in 1952, Sridhar embarked on his nail-growing journey. Now in his 80s, he first appeared in the Guinness World Records in 1979, with his nails measuring a combined length of 219.7 centimeters. Due to the fragile nature of his nails, Sridhar had to be extremely careful, especially while sleeping, to avoid damaging them.
But he says his extraordinary nails deserve an extraordinary fate.
Despite his extraordinary fingernails, he pursued a successful career as a professional photographer, gaining fame for his work. On July 11, 2018, Sridhar decided to cut his nails. They were then preserved and are now displayed at Ripley's Believe It or Not in Times Square, New York. Although Sridhar Chilal may have finally trimmed his famously long left-hand fingernails, his record for having the longest fingernails in the world still stands. Number 5. Thomas Wetters and Ting Hafen. Thomas Wetters, a man from Yorkshire, became famous for his enormous nose, which was the talk of the town. Though no other photos exist to capture its massive size, an article in 1896 described it as a symbol of power. However, it also pointed out that his impressive nose seemed to take up space for other qualities, particularly intelligence. On the other side of the world is Ting Hafen from China, known for her exceptionally large breasts, each weighing over 20 pounds. These massive features have brought her significant challenges. Sleeping, moving around, and even relationships have become difficult. While many may admire her extreme attribute, it's clear that sometimes too much of a good thing can lead to more problems than perks. Number 4. Supatra Sasu facial hair. Supatra Sasu, often called Wolf Girl or Monkey Face, might have been given these nicknames, but she's made it clear that she's not defined by them. She's proudly embraced her rare condition, which led her to be officially recognized as the world's hairiest girl. Supatra's early years were anything but easy. When she was born, her condition was unknown, and she had to undergo 2 surgeries just to breathe. Her father, Sam Rueng, remembers how difficult that time was. He shared that they had no idea about her condition before she was born, and her nostrils were so small, only 1 millimeter wide, that she couldn't breathe properly. She spent 3 months in an incubator and stayed in the hospital for a total of 10 months. It was later revealed that Supatra is living with an incredibly rare genetic condition known as Ombra syndrome, often referred to as werewolf syndrome. This condition is tough to manage and leads to excessive hair growth all over her body, including her face.
For making hair grow or to make hair not grow.
Only a small number of people in history have been affected by it, and unfortunately, there's no known cure. In the past, people with the condition were sadly labeled as werewolves because of the way the hair grows. Supatra's hair covers her face, ears, arms, legs, and back, and despite trying laser treatments, nothing has been able to stop the hair from growing back. When Supatra was 2, she underwent another surgery that allowed her to breathe normally. Despite the ongoing challenges, Supatra and her family still encountered difficulties. Her teeth developed slowly, and her vision wasn't ideal, but they remained hopeful and continued to press forward. At the age of 2, doctors also tried laser treatments to remove her hair, but they proved ineffective, with the hair growing back just as thick as before. As Supatra got older, her hair continued to thicken, and her mother had to trim it regularly. She also had to use baby shampoo due to an allergy to stronger brands. Meanwhile, Supatra focused on living a normal life and didn't let anything hold her back. Although she had been teased at school, she became more popular after earning a Guinness World Record for her hair. When Supatra first learned she was in the Guinness World Records, she couldn't contain her excitement. She said it was a big deal because, unlike others who had to do a lot to get in, she only had to answer a few questions. Like any other child, Supatra enjoyed swimming, dancing to her favorite music, and playing with her friends. But her absolute favorite activity was sitting in front of the TV, watching cartoons with her family. She wasn't picky about what was on, but especially loved watching Bugs Bunny. She was determined to lead a normal life and become very good at math, so she could teach it to younger kids. She also aspired to become a doctor, not just for the title, but because she wanted to help people when they were hurt or sick. Number 3, Tran Van Hay. When you've got hair that could stretch from one end of a room to the other, you're bound to catch some attention. Tran Van Hay did just that with his world record-setting 20-foot locks. Apparently, 2004 was the year for all things hair-related when it came to world records. It was the time when the folks at Guinness decided to check out some seriously impressive hair feats and one of the most jaw-dropping came from a man in Vietnam. His name was Tran Van Hay, and at 73 years old, he held the record for the longest hair on a person. His hair stretched over an incredible 20 feet. Considering he hadn't had a haircut since he was 25, it's no surprise that his locks reached such insane lengths. If you went that long without trimming, you'd expect your hair to be quite the spectacle too. But here's the catch. Tran's hair wasn't just long, it was a load. 17 pounds heavy. Imagine the strain on his neck, like constantly carrying a small child. Most of the time, Tran kept his epic hair wrapped up in a massive turban, so it didn't just hang loose for the world to see. But for those lucky enough to get a peek, they said it looked more like a giant dreadlock. To give you a visual, people compared it to a huge fat python curled up on his head. It must have been quite a sight. Of course, being in the Guinness World Records is undoubtedly an exciting achievement, but having such a weighty mane also comes with some serious challenges. The sheer inconvenience of carrying all that hair around limits what you can do in your everyday life. It's one thing to hold a world record, but another to figure out how to live with something so massive hanging off your head. Still, Tran's dedication to his hair and the record surely made him a standout for many years. Number 2. Andrea Ivanova. Driven by the bold, exaggerated pouts of Bratz dolls, Andrea Ivanova has dedicated years to shaping her lips into a record-breaking, iconic masterpiece. She's earned recognition for accomplishing what many might call an extraordinary achievement, holding the title for the world's largest lips. But these iconic lips weren't a natural gift. Rather, they're the result of a dream she's worked relentlessly to make a reality. Born in Bulgaria, Andrea wasn't born with lips that would turn heads, but she found inspiration in something bold: the Bratz dolls. Their exaggerated, pouty lips were her muse, sparking her desire to replicate their striking features. Her journey started several years ago when she began experimenting with lip injections. Since then, she's invested over $5,000 to enhance her lips and has no plans of stopping anytime soon. Despite warnings from medical professionals about the risks involved, including the possibility of her lips bursting if enlarged further, Andrea remains steadfast in her pursuit of her ideal look, and her ambitions don't stop at just her lips. Andrea revealed that she's also considering altering other parts of her body, including plans for face lengthening and contouring procedures. Her vision is clear. She wants to transform her entire appearance, sculpting herself into the striking figure she's always dreamed of. While some may question the risks, Andrea is determined to shape her look according to her bold vision. Number 1. Yu Jianxia. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but for Yu Jianxia, it's in the length of her eyelashes, now officially the longest in the world. Since June 28, 2016, Yu Jianxia from China has held the record for the world's longest eyelash. At that time, her lash measured 4.8 inches, growing from the upper eyelid of her left eye. But her lashes didn't stop there. They kept growing. By May 20th, 2021, her eyelashes had stretched to an incredible 8 inches, securing her spot in the record books. So, what's the secret behind her super long lashes? She claims that her eyelashes grew to extraordinary lengths after spending 480 days in the mountains. According to her, it was during this time that she believed the Buddha himself blessed her with these incredible lashes. Though all of Jianxia's eyelashes are notably long, it's that standout lash on her left eyelid that continues to take the spotlight. She shared that she first noticed her eyelashes growing in 2015 and that they had been getting longer ever since. Naturally, she wondered why her lashes were so much longer than anyone else's. She even consulted doctors, but none could offer an explanation. The doctor had been unable to explain the phenomenon and was amazed by it. Jianxia also looked into genetic reasons, but none of her family members had lashes like hers. She then began to think it might be something more mystical at play. She recalled a time when she spent over 480 days on a mountain years ago and thought to herself that her long eyelashes might be a gift from the Buddha. Despite their extraordinary length, they don't interfere with her daily life. In fact, they make her makeup routine a little easier. She mentioned that thanks to her long lashes, she doesn't need eyeliner or eyeshadow, as they act as her natural eyeliner. Even after years of growth, her lashes have continued to flourish, now nearly 3 inches longer than when the record was first set. In her everyday life, she said her lashes only bring her joy, with no trouble whatsoever. For Jianxia, her unique feature has become more than just a Guinness World Record. She expressed her desire to celebrate all kinds of different beauties, whether it's the longest hair, nails, or anything else that sets someone apart. She encouraged others with unique beauty to celebrate together and spread happiness. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.